All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm going to call the May 20th, 2026 meeting of the Auburn School Committee to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll start down here on my right with introductions.
Dan Poisson, Ward 5.
Lydia Chapman, Ward 4.
Corin McGuigan, Ward 1.
Misty Edgecombe, Ward 2.
Pamela Albert at large.
Sue Doris, Superintendent.
Pat Gaudier, Ward 3.
Jay Rich at large.
Adam Platts, City Council Representative.
Amanda Kuchar, Business Manager.
Scott Anier, Assistant Superintendent.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome. And Calvin Vincent could not be here tonight. I'm going to start with the approval of the consent agenda, which includes the approval of tonight's agenda, as well as the approval of the minutes of the May 6, 2026 meeting, as well as the recommended certified contract of Christopher Tees. Do I have a motion? Corin, do I have a second? Jay? All those in favor? Motion carries. We are going to skip our recognition tonight because Calvin could not be here. He will be at our June 3rd meeting. Do I have anyone here who would like to address the Auburn School Committee this evening for public participation? All right, seeing none, we are going to move on to this evening's presentation. Scott, I think.
Yes, thank you very much. Mr. Anier will start us off tonight with information about the class of 1976 gift.
So good evening, everyone. So in your packet tonight, I believe you will have found the memo that was crafted in regards to the class of 1976 and a legacy gift that they are working toward presenting and having in display all across Edward Little's site. This has been quite a journey for them, and it's been a great partnership that we've had with them. Just to highlight some of the pieces out of the memo, this is their 50th reunion for the class of 1976 this year. The leaders wanted to really solidify and commemorate the important elements of Edward Little High School and its history through a lasting gift and celebration of their 50th reunion. So what they have worked on very diligently and stayed in constant communication is to develop some kiosks around the site, and we work together mostly on their end. We're guiding with some suggestions, but it was all they're doing. These kiosks that...
You want to go to the presentation mode?
Oh, I can try. Yes, you are right. Thanks, Jay. So this is an example. They have worked with some very professional groups in terms of creating a high-quality project for themselves with great imagery, great history embedded in it, and a high-quality kiosk so that it can kind of stand the test of time. So this is an example of one of the models that they have looked at. They will refine what specifically size and proportions they'll have. We have some representatives here who will definitely are very proud of the work that they've done to be able to share a bit more of some of the examples. So some of the areas that they've identified are the statue, the bell tower, the stadium field, the entrance to the Donald M. Gay Performing Arts Center, the site of the former Edward Little off of Harris Street, and of course, the Snake Trail. So this is an example of what they are proposing for the bell tower kiosk. The statute history of it. The former site, which we know well, and the stadium field. And again, these are some of the examples. They have been phenomenal of keeping us in communication. We've talked with our maintenance department and Public Works about the installations so that we're meeting all of the regulations that need to happen. We'll work together on really trying to find the the highest visibility viewpoints for each of those areas. And yeah, that's the story behind this. And for you to know, they have taken on this endeavor entirely on their own. These are all fundraising efforts on their part, and we've just been really grateful to be able to partner with them and see this come to fruition. And I love working with them. I've had the opportunity to work with them for many, many years through their scholarship. But this is something really special, and I feel like it's quite an honor for us to have them be able to provide this lasting gift to not only the Edward Little community, but we know how important Edward Little is to the entire Auburn community. And so this just creates that legacy for all of Auburn. And so with that, I will ask if they would like to join me up here.
I really would like to pass this around, because this is actually a rendition. I want it back, but this is a rendition of what it's going to look like, because what we're proposing is truly, it's iron, it's wood, it's etched, it's stunning. So let me pass this around, and then I'll gather it back up. That's an example of philanthropist. I have a hard time with that word. So when you're going to see, when you look at that, the etching is actually, it's carved out. I'm sorry, I'm so used to just speaking. Okay. Okay. So the back of it is actually wood, and then the design is etched out, so the wood comes through. It's just, I'm speechless. They're just beautiful. So what we did is we wanted to do a story walk. My first time on that new campus, when it was all finished, I said, "Oh my God, what an amazing place!" But it's very big, and so part of this story walk is also going to be a QR code is going to be on there, so that people are going to be able to use the QR code, see a map of the campus, and know where the next station is. And so they're going to be able to go around if they want. The other thing is we've been looking at where we potentially might place the signs. And my observation is even if somebody wanted to go around in their car, it's not like they have to walk the campus to be able to gain access to these stations. They can drive, and it's going to be just a few steps to go over and take a look at it. So we're very excited. We're very just overwhelmed with the beautiful new campus. I think this is something that the community can enjoy along with the staff and the students. So that is, that's what we would like to present as our gift to the school and the campus and the community for our 50th class reunion. So, any questions?
Anyone have any questions? Pat?
I have a question. I don't know, can you answer me? Are these going to stay up all through the harsh Maine winters?
Yes. The inspiration for this came, we knew we wanted to do a story walk, and we presented it to the school. We went to a meeting. Becky was there, Leslie Shields was there, and myself. And we thought we were going to go with one company and decided it wasn't the fit that we wanted. And I was actually watching, who watches 207, Channel 6, 207? Love that show, okay? Mm-hmm. So I was watching it, and they did a segment on Paul Bunyan and the city of Bangor and their new story walk. And I went, oh my God, these are beautiful. So I sent the link to Becky and said, Becky, look at these are stunning. I said, you want me to contact them? You know, we all agreed. And so I contacted Da Vinci's and said, this is what we would like to propose, this is what we would like to do. Do you think this is something your company would like to take on? And so that one that I'm passing around is from that, I was up there last night to Bangor for a lacrosse game and went over to their place in Herman and was able to come home with this so that I could have it to show for the meeting tonight. So that is where the whole, and yes, they are intended to be, they stay up year-round. The pictures that when you go online and you look at the ones that Da Vinci has on the Paul Bunyan one, their pictures are taken in the winter. And so they are a year-round permanent installation, and we're working with facilities and all of the digs, all of the proper dotting of the I's and crossing of the T's to make sure it's done properly. Yeah. So, can you tell I'm excited?
I think it sounds like an excellent idea. I can't wait to see them in person. I'm curious what is the timeline for getting these installed?
Our goal is we want them in when we have our 50th class reunion, which is in August, so they can part of our weekend, so that we're going to be able to have class members come to the school. We're hoping we're going to be able to do a tour of the school and be able to have folks go around the campus and see this. This coming weekend, we have our fundraiser for the scholarship, and at the golf event, Becky has made up, this is going to be the first time the class sees these. We're going to have these at the golf event so people can see them as well. The class members can see them. So that's our goal, and we are, I'm not even going to say we should, I'm putting it out there positive, we are going to make our goal. Yep.
Not a question, but just thank you. This is a very kind and generous gift, and I look forward to seeing them soon.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
so much. Becky and I, and our class is so connected, and all of us have been so connected to the community through various organizations growing up as kids in the city of Auburn. And for our class, it still holds true. We are still very much committed to the city of Auburn and the school, and we enjoy being able to still participate after 50 years. So I thank you for the opportunity. Okay?
This is very exciting. And when it is completed, will there be like an unveiling, and could we come?
We would love to be able to have something, and yes, we would love to be. We haven't gotten quite that far, but it is something that I think it needs to be presented to the community, because we want to make sure that people know it's out there. So that would be another thing that we can collaborate on with the school board and the school, and see what we can come up with. Okay? Yes. You're welcome.
I see you have Mr. Bauer's picture up there. He's the gentleman that wrote.
Yes.
His great-granddaughter or granddaughter still works at the high school.
No. Oh, my goodness. I got to share that with Becky. She'll be thrilled.
You need to talk to her.
That's wonderful. And I would like to share that we went through the Androscoggin Historical Society. We went to the Auburn Library. We used the Sun Journal archives. We used the old yearbooks. You'll notice that the marching band, we used the Oracle. So all of the stuff that we did, again, it's the community that has provided us with all this information to be able to create these. Yeah. Anything else?
Great.
Good.
Aren't they awesome?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. The class appreciation. I'm glad we were able to present this. I appreciate it, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next presentation will come from Haley Knowlton, who was the coordinator of this year's Everett Little High School Community Service Day.
You got it?
Yeah, I think so. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. I had reached out prior to the Community Service Day to invite you all. I know we're all very, very busy, and we got some feedback that we wanted to hear about what we did. So Val and I took the opportunity to put together a recap of it, just some general information, and then we can answer any questions that you guys have about it. So historically, Community Service Day hasn't been around that long. It's been around maybe 10 years, 11 years. It started with Mr. Anier, and it was also Mr. Horn was a big influence in creating it. It started because we have a graduation requirement of a certain amount of service hours, for those of you that might not be aware. It used to be 24 hours, and they found that a lot of the students struggled to meet those hours on their own. They weren't sure how to engage in the community, what types of things counted. So they started up doing a day of service. So we trade in a day of regular instruction, and we go out into the community in various capacities and conduct service projects. This was canceled a couple of times recently. COVID obviously made it impossible to go out and do that. COVID also led it to be reduced to 18 service hours. That's our new graduation requirement. It was also canceled again last year in 2025 because we didn't have enough projects This is freshman, sophomore, and junior homerooms, so it's a significant amount of kids, significant amount of groups, and the city is one of our biggest partners, and it typically in the spring falls right around the DUI community service weekends or weeks, and so last year they said everything we were going to give you guys, we've already done. So they ended up canceling it. So a lot of our students were lacking those hours going into their senior year, junior year, sophomore year. So this year was sort of a revamp of everything, trying to get kids excited about it. Some of them have never participated in it before. So just explaining what service is to them, what it looks like, how they can get involved, things like that. Overall, we had 58 homeroom groups participate, so that's 58 different groups. It was a total of 533 students that went out. We do have more kids in those grades, but some of them had already met their hours, some were on field trips. The weather was not our friend last Friday, so that we're attributing some of that lack of attendance to that. But we were able to go out into more than 30 locations. So almost all of the elementary schools, the middle school. We had some groups stay at the high school and do some projects around there. We also partnered with local retirement homes, Schooner Estates and Oddfellows. Margaret Murphy was a new partner for us this year. They're opening a new facility in Strawberry Ave in Lewiston. And so we were able to put together different equipment for that facility, toys for the kids, cleaning, just helping them get ready for that. Our big focus is on nonprofit organizations. This year we hit a new goal. There was only one group that was not a nonprofit, and that was Lost Valley, and we chose to partner with them regardless because they are a big partner for us in hosting different events and fundraisers and things like that. And then we just have some photos of our different groups. They were troopers, I tell you. They made the best of it, even in the weather. I don't know that any of them came back without a smile on their face. I met most of them at the door, and they were all excited about what they did. Part of the service isn't just going out and doing the hours, it's also completing a reflection when they get back. So we document those reflections, they conduct them in homerooms, and so before they left that day, they were able to fill out that form, and that's how we track the credit for their hours also. And then these are just a couple of testimonials from some of the groups that we had. So again, Margaret Murphy was a new partner for us. We can't thank this crew enough. Our volunteer crew from EL crushed our to-do list today, helping us to prepare to open our new preschool and primary school. We're so grateful for the hardworking hands. We had Scott Whalen and Auburn Suburban. We partner with them every year. And I was talking to Val, and this one stung a little bit because I served there for 2 years in a row when I was a student at EL, and he one-upped me and said this was the best group of students I've ever had in the rain. And then Schooner Estates, they helped out with breakfast, they played games with the residents, just got them some community interaction. And then our last one was also a new partnership for us. This was with the PAL, and they just opened their new facility, and with how much it cost, she was very excited to have help maintaining some of the corners and closets that they can't get to on a regular basis. So she had them vacuuming closets, vacuuming floors, organizing storage closets. They were supposed to go out and do community cleanup. Didn't happen as much as we wanted, but we still had groups of students that were like, no, we'll go out there. And they went out and cleaned up the area so that the kids that are serviced there can go out and have a nice environment to play in and things like that. So, yeah. Any questions?
Can I just say one thing? So, what Haley is not telling you is that this is part of her master's in administration capstone project. So Haley took this on as part of her capstone and has completely revamped the whole thing. And there was a ton of amount of work and hours that went into the coordination and the planning of this. So thank you to Haley for taking this on. Jay?
Just want to echo that. That's a big undertaking, not only working and getting your master's, but coordinating all of this. So thank you to you and all the partners, and I'm very happy that our students went out there and represented our school district in such a positive light, and I'm so glad that we have this opportunity for students, because not only is it just a great thing to do, it looks great on resumes and transcripts, so I'm just really glad that we do this and that we have some good community partners as well. Thank you for your work.
Just wanted to say thank you, and I know that my daughter really enjoyed her day and when you usually get, oh, my day was good, I got more information. So I know that means it was a really good day. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
My daughter also participated and had a great time despite the rain, despite being outside the entire day and moving a lot of mulch. She came home with a smile and she was thrilled. She loved how exhausted she was. So thank you. It was a really great time.
Having been on the other side and was one of the first groups to do it in 2015 and 16, it was a great way for the teachers to get to know their kids in a different manner outside the classroom. And I think there was a lot of bonding and stuff like that happened with our mentor group. So I applaud you all for continuing to do it and keep it going, and good luck with your masters.
Thank you.
I just want to say I like the revamp, and I like that we're focusing on nonprofits as opposed to previous years.
Yeah, that was a big change. It's not that we can't help out those people, but to have the biggest impact, that's what we were trying to target. And this year we also did offer it out to the public on like Facebook, if you have any projects or things like that, because we don't know everyone in the community, and we got a couple of new locations that they're like, this is awesome, that we have projects that we can't do ourselves, like if they could come and help, that'd be great. So
Great. Thank you so much, Haley.
thank you.
Okay, we do not have a school committee student representatives report tonight. Dr. Doris, the superintendent's report.
Yes, I have one item tonight, and that is to share some end of the school year dates with you. Believe it or not, the school year is quickly coming to a close. The last day for students in grades K through 11 will be Monday, June 15th. And this has always been an early release day, and it will be an early release day. It's a little bit earlier than usual. Grades 7 through 11 will be dismissed at 10:30, and grades K through 6 will be dismissed at 11:30. And then for our preschool students, their last day of school will be Friday, June 12th. And for staff, it will be Tuesday, June 16th. And then for other important dates, of course, we have the high school graduation ceremony on Saturday, May 30th at Edward Little. And then the Auburn Adult Education will hold its graduation ceremony on Thursday, June 4th at 7 p.m. at Edward Little. And graduation for the high school is also at 7 p.m. And then the last date, which you will hear more about at the next meeting, is the school budget validation referendum taking place on June 9th. Any questions about any of that? All right, turn it over to you.
Okay. I don't really have a chairperson's report tonight, other than to say that the AMS bond did pass the city council for the second reading on Monday night. So that has been officially approved. Adam, do we have a city council update?
I do, thank you. I was going to echo that point. Just wanted to go over the votes that occurred on Monday. There were some final budget votes. So as Pam just mentioned, the 11.2 Auburn Middle School bond passed 5-2. The $11.77 million city CIP bond passed 5-2. And the municipal budget, which included both school and city, passed 5-2 as well, which sends, as Dr. Doris mentioned, the school budget to referendum on June 9th. I think also want to reiterate absentee ballots are available until to June 4th.
It's the Thursday before.
The Thursday prior to that Tuesday, so worth mentioning. There was one other vote, non-budgetary, that I did want to mention because I think it'll have impact on folks related to the school department. If you've been following along, the city is revamping their trash and recycling program. not necessarily by choice, but as we renegotiated our contract with Casella, with I think the lowest bidder, which happened to be Casella, it's basically become the norm that there's no such thing as trash trucks with humans anymore that load things into trucks, at least as they convert them to new technology. So Auburn is switching to automated cans. Why this has anything to do with the school department? On Monday, there was a first reading of some changed ordinance that will, I would say, significantly affect certain streets in the city with no parking bans from like 6 p.m. on Sunday to 6 p.m. on Monday, every other week, so it's not every week. So there's details, and you need to read it, but I would encourage over time, over the next few months, people with kids who use school buses should probably just take a look at these closures. We'll be getting more clarity as the next vote comes along, as we do more research on it, but it'll affect lots of streets citywide. There's a list in the city council agenda packet from Monday, but I would encourage folks who are interested to take a look at that.
Great. Thank you. Any questions for Adam? All right, thank you. So moving on, all of the agendas and minutes for all of the various subcommittee meetings that have happened are linked. The finance subcommittee minutes are linked from the May 12th meeting. Nothing major to report there. Chris Piercy from the school nutrition program came and spoke, but there were no agenda items that got moved forward. We have a couple things that will be coming up in June, so stay tuned for that. And then the policy subcommittee agenda from last night's meeting is linked, and the health and safety subcommittee minutes are also linked from last Thursday's meeting. Again, nothing major to report there, just kind of report outs on kind of standing agenda items, nothing new. And then the facilities subcommittee minutes from the May 12th meeting are also linked. And Scott, was there anything specific that we needed to, anything you want to mention?
Nothing that really kind of jumped out. It was really updates on some different projects that were going on. The one that I did want to highlight, because we just met today, that the East Auburn HVAC summer project is full steam ahead, and we met with EEI and a bunch of the contractors and East Auburn Principal Michelle Gagne, and we are moving forward very rapidly. So we went over the timeline, we worked on some details about accessing certain points, and so more to come on that, but that is, if you recall, last year's $800,000 CIP planning. And so here we are and moving ahead with phase 1 of this project.
Great, thank you. We don't have any old business tonight, so moving on to new business. Isn't this technically old business? Yeah, I think, so this is actually technically old business, not new business, because this is a second reading of a policy we've already voted on once. So old business, I'll entertain a motion to approve policy AUB GBQ, Maine paid family and medical leave, for a second reading and approval. Do I have a motion? Corin, do I have a second?
Second.
Pat, any further discussion, questions on this policy? I know we reviewed it last time, just some minor wording updates and alignment, I think, with MSMA policy. I think there were a couple additions to the recommended MSMA wording for this new policy. So, seeing no questions or discussion, all those in favor of approving policy AUB GBQ, Maine paid family and medical leave, for second reading and approval? Motion carries. List of all of our upcoming meetings are listed. Our next regular school committee meeting will be June 3rd. And do I have any requests for future agenda items or requests for information? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Corin, do I have a second? Jay, all those in favor? And we are adjourned at 6:29. Thank you, everyone.